Hello there, boys and girls, and all of those in between. My name is Maliena Bitchcock, and I want to welcome you to Bitch Talk with Bitchcock, my very own talk show where I get to talk with some of the best entertainers from all over. This week, we have Portland's very own megastar, the one and only BoujiestCherry.
Hello, 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 everyone.
Oh my God, bitch, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm at my house in the suburbs of Portland, well, Lake Oswego. Just drinking a lot.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
well,
what happened?
I don't know. But
Ooh.
what the heck? Just, oh, girl.
Sorry.
It's all right. Your camera's naughty. Well, girl, if I serve me wrong, my eyes tell me that you are wearing the same outfit as me. Oh!
Are we really? One of us has to change, girl.
It is my show, so you better go put something different on then.
Shit, gotta go.
Well, bitch, I just love that we're ready to be on Baywatch and rescue some hot men and put our lips all over them.
Someone has to do it, and I'm all here for it.
It's very, very hard work, but ladies like us just know how to make it work. Oh. So, Boujee, my love, why don't we talk a little bit about, let's just dive into the interview and learn all about the amazingness that is you. Let's start at the beginning and tell me when you actually first started drag.
So I actually recently just had my 3-year drag anniversary. I started April 15th, literally my dad's birthday. So I started 3 years ago at the How How in Hillsborough.
Okay, and what actually made you want to start drag?
So originally I was always like, drag isn't for me. I'm never gonna start doing drag. But I had a boyfriend at the time 3 years ago that was really into drag. His name was Camille Daye Leon. Or Camille Leon, not Daye was me, my bad. But his name was Camille Leon, and he was like the prettiest drag queen I've ever seen. The first time I ever met him was in drag. And so we like hit it off and everything, and I was like, oh, like you should like put me in drag sometime. I just want to see what it's like. And ever since then, it created this monster that is me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm so happy they did because you're such an amazing queen and you definitely have come such a long way. Now, a little birdie told me, Miss Boujee, that BoujiestCherry hasn't actually always been your drag name. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your drag evolution and the drag characters you have been prior?
So originally, my very first drag name was Maliena Daye Leon. It was Malia because of Malia Obama. And Daye was from my favorite opera, which is Phantom of the Opera, Christine Daye.
Yes.
And I always wanted to like do pageants and everything. So I was like, I have to have like a really pretty long name. And that's what got started with all this shenanigans. And then sort of started realizing that that name didn't really fit me. And my Instagram handle was already BoujiestCherry, and everyone thought that was my drag name in Portland because I was just so brand new with everything. And so I was like, I think it's time for me to change my name. And that happened about a year or so into like me performing. And ever since then, I was like, this is it. Like, I can brand myself really easily with this. And yeah.
Yes, I love it so much. Now, honey, you are obviously a beauty queen and you're so gorgeous looking.
Thank you.
Now, tell me a little bit about your first time on stage doing your first performance and what you looked like then. Were you as beautiful as you are now?
My makeup has definitely changed a lot because I used to not paint myself. I used to have my ex-boyfriend paint me because I was like, I can't do this for shit. So originally, like off the bat, I was really pretty, but I wasn't to like how I paint my face at all. And it was always like my eyebrows were always the main thing, because that's exactly what he always worked on was his brows. And I used to do like bigger eyes. My contour has definitely changed a lot. It's not, everything's not as harsh, it's more polished now.
I love that. And we definitely get a little more sharper, a little more polished the further we go in our career. And I've definitely seen that with you, my love. You've always, again, been a beauty queen, but now you're just looking like a fashion model ready to walk the runway.
Yeah, that's definitely what my persona is now. She just does all the beauty, does all the fashion, because I'm so into fashion right now.
Well, that's fantastic, girl. And in fact, speaking of persona, why don't you tell us a little bit about the character that is BoujiestCherry?
Well, BoujiestCherry likes to be the fun, bubbly girl that's like the mess at the party. So like if you see me out in drag, I'm probably the like one throwing up in the bathroom and then coming back and being like, I'm ready for round 2.
That's definitely a crazy girl there. In fact, I know that I did a show once, and I think you passed out on the pool table at Shot Skis.
That was not me.
That wasn't you?
No, that was Kiara Cortez.
Oh, sorry, Kiara, didn't spill your tea. Well, crazy things happen when we drink and do drag.
Oh yes, especially at Shot Skis. I have so many wild stories from that.
We'll definitely dive into that. Oh, but right now, why don't we talk a little bit? Who has actually helped inspire the character who is BoujiestCherry now? Any pop icons or celebrities that have really helped you develop the character?
I don't really have any like celebrities. I have like drag celebrities that have helped me evolve into like who I want to be. I take a lot of inspiration from like Ariel Versace, James Majesty, Aquaria, Valentina. They all just, I really like everything that they like put together to like become who they are. And I always see myself at a level of like their professionalism. And that's really what pushes me to strive to do better all the time.
Okay. I love that so much. And, I love that you are a professional queen that gets this as a job and that we're there to entertain people, because a lot of girls forget that sometimes. Now, Ms. Bougie, why don't you tell us a little bit about the drag style that is you?
So my drag style is I like to be the Bratz doll, so fashion from head to toe. What else? A lot of my friends say that they see me as a model, and so I really like that because I like giving all the body. I like being like the skinny little twig with a giant ass. And yeah, that's sort of like my drag style. Because I make like a few of my outfits, so I get a lot of inspiration from different like stylists and stuff, like different designers. So yeah.
Okay, fierce girl. And I do know that you have more of a sexy style where you're not afraid to show off your body and you have a very confident like look to you. When you are creating these looks, is there anything that's really helped inspire you? Are you watching like mainstream fashion runways or reading fashion books?
Actually, I see a lot of like different designs on like Instagram, and then I also watch a lot of like Project Runway. I forgot what the one on Netflix that just came out, but I just watched that. So it's a lot of different things that I see. I'm like, ooh, this would look really cute together, or this design would be really cute. Yeah.
Okay, I love that. And a little birdie told me you actually might even have some of your own private designers. Is that true?
I have one that helps make everything for me. His name is Howie. He makes a lot of stuff for Lizzo. He lives in LA.
Oh,
Uh,
you mean the Lizzo?
yes, the Lizzo herself.
Ah, that's
Um,
exciting. So you have the same designer making your clothes who makes her fashion also.
yeah, and he makes a lot of stuff for like a lot of drag queens. He does stuff for Naomi and Laganja. He made a few of the runways for not runways, but like for like the red carpet or whatever for AJ and the Queen.
Oh, that's really exciting. So how is it to have a professional designer making some of these things, do you kind of get to put some of your creativity into it, or do you just kind of get his designs?
No, so I actually just send him a picture, like a sketch of one of my designs, and I like tell him like exactly what I want, and he makes the vision come true. He sketches it himself in like color, because I just have like a basic sketch of what I want, and he sketches it with color and then asks me like what material and everything, and it's all tailored to me so it fits like a glove.
Oh, hi. Well, I love that so much. And, as we were talking a little bit in the pre-interview, I'm really learning that you yourself have quite an eye for fashion. In fact, one of your most ultimate goals that you would love to do in drag is come out with your own fashion line. Is that correct?
Yes, I would love to have my own fashion line. So it would be like couture meets drag. And I want it to be an affordable thing for any like drag performer and artist, because it's very hard to find like really nice outfits for not like $400, you know?
Oh, girl, that is the truth right there. It's hard finding good costumes and being able to just really not spin an arm and a leg, because these days people think, okay, I do all this work, so I'm going to charge $400 for this piece of silk and velvet sewn together. But which I get, your work and your designs and everything are definitely worth every dime. But some of us queens just can't afford that shit.
Yeah, no, honestly, it takes a lot out of me having to buy new outfits all the time, because I don't really like wearing the same outfit more than once. Obviously, I do, because it's hard not to at this point with how often I'm performing. But whenever I get the funds, I will be having new looks every time I do drag. So
I love that, Boujee. Now, let's see, you don't have to give us any exacts or anything, but like a rough estimate of what we could maybe expect from a few things from your fashion line.
I actually have some stuff that I have right here that I've been working on. There's
Oh,
this look right here. It's like a futuristic type of look, which I'm really excited to be getting. Howie's actually going to be working on it.
oh, that looks fantastic, girl. And that comes straight out of your mind, right?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
And then I actually already have this one made.
Okay. I love it. So, you
Yeah.
know, you definitely talked about how Instagram and runways have definitely helped inspire your clothing and your style. I think it's so awesome that you kind of want to take that and create your own style and kind of offer it to the world, because, I think you definitely have an eye for fashion, bitch.
Thank you. Thank you. I really do try really hard to put my entire vision together. Sometimes it's harder than others, but I think I like overall I put everything together at a good way.
Oh, absolutely. It has me absolutely titillated. Well, Miss Boujee, one thing I know the audience definitely is waiting for is, what are we to expect from a BoujiestCherry performance?
So this is actually something I love telling people. You never get the same thing twice from me.
Okay.
You could see me dumping water on my head. You can see me lighting my hand on fire. You will definitely always see dancing, but I don't really like performing the same song over and over again.
Okay. I absolutely get that. Now, with that said, what kind of music do you tend to like to perform to?
I perform more to like upbeat, like pop, like general like top 100 songs, just because it's stuff that's relevant to like now and people know what the songs are. So it's really nice to get people to like sing the songs along with you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's always great to do music that the audience knows so that they kind of relate with where you're coming from as an artist.
Yeah,
Now, Bougie, do you ever do mixes?
I do. Actually, a lot of my own mixes I make myself,
Okay.
but I don't like get the ideas myself. I get a lot of my mix ideas from like the Work the World Tour performances, and then I make my own version of theirs.
Okay, like give us a little bit of an example.
Um, like I have a Kill Bill mix, and Aquaria was originally the one that like did her Kill Bill mix, and so I have like a different version of her mix.
I love that.
Yeah.
And did you wear the whole bodysuit with the yellow and black stripes?
I don't have that yet, but I do wear black and yellow.
Yes, I can't wait to see that. Now, Boujee, are you known for doing any tricks or dance moves during your performances?
Yes. One thing that I'm very known for is doing a cartwheel into a dip. Those are actually not as hard as you'd think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever lost your wig trying to do tricks like that?
Not lately, but when I first started drag, my wigs would just bloop, because I didn't know what gluing down wigs are.
Well, even with gluing down hair, that's what keeps me from doing like the tumbles or anything, because I'd be fucking just scared that I would lean on a strand of hair and that wig would fly off, even if it is glued to my head.
Something that I learned was actually from Kalina Marcos. She's in Seattle, and she styles wigs in Seattle, but she has a like Velcro strap that goes around your forehead or like around your head. And when you put on the wig, it just like stays secure, and then you just glue down like here, and that wig is not going anywhere.
I've definitely seen those. I've even seen like kind of knockoffs that they sell on Amazon. So I think that's definitely something to look into, especially for those bitches that whip their hair back and forth. So
yep, I'm definitely one of them, especially when I dump water on my head. I'll be shaking this hair like no other.
Oh, so Boujee, would you say you're a funny queen?
I would say that I'm funny to an extent.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit of BoujiestCherry's humor when she's hosting on a microphone?
Oh gosh. See, I rely on whatever like other performer is talking with me because I get really bad stage fright.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Someone as confident as you still suffers from stage fright.
yeah. Well, so I actually grew up on stage. My dad was in a band when I was growing up, and so I traveled a lot with him. And I did dance, cheer, and gymnastics growing up.
Okay.
So being on the stage came like really natural to me, but at the same time, like every time right before I get on stage, I remember the time when I was in high school and I was about to get on stage and I started throwing up because of how nervous I was.
Oh, honey. Now, has drag added a confidence that makes it a little easier for you to get on stage?
Now, yes, it helps a lot just because like I know that a lot of people are there to see me. And it takes a lot out of me to get on stage, but at the same time, I'm like there to give a vision and a performance, and I know I'll execute it really well.
Tell me this, Miss Boujee. Is there a personality change from when you go from real life to actual BoujiestCherry?
There is for me, like I see a difference, but like one of my ex-boyfriends was like, no, you're just bougie all the time. But that's because he always saw me like 24/7. But to like the outside world, I'm very shy and reserved, and I don't really talk to many people. I literally have like a tiny little group that I talk to. So yeah, there's a big difference for me.
Well, I think that definitely relates to a lot of us where I think I've said this now in almost every episode is I consider drag like an armor, and it gives us a confidence we never knew we had. And, a lot of us are just shy, awkward little humans outside of drag. So it's kind of funny once you put on all the makeup and hair and how we transform.
Yeah, because like definitely I would go out and drag all the time. But as soon as I was out of drag, I'm like, oh, I'd rather not go to a club. I don't want people seeing me. Like, it's weird how like drag shifts that for me.
No, I get it, girl. I absolutely get it. Now, when you're doing your performances, we know that you do dance moves. We know that you can lip sync the house down. Are you ever known to bringing some comedy to the stage?
Yes, actually I have a pussy mix, which is hilarious.
Ooh, tell me more about your pussy.
So it goes from what song is it? So Lana Del Rey's I forget, I think it's just Cola. I think that's what it's called. It goes like, my pussy tastes like Pepsi Cola, but that's like all she's saying for a while. And then it goes into like SpongeBob, like SquarePants, like, are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain. And then it goes into like Old MacDonald, like the beat, but it's literally Lana Del Rey saying, my pussy tastes like Pepsi Cola, E-I-E-I-O.
Oh my God, yes! I have to see you do that performance someday, girl, because that sounds fabulous!
It's literally one of my favorite numbers to do.
Oh my gosh. Now, oh my God, baby, when I first actually met you, you were a regular performer. In fact, you weren't just a regular performer, you were one of the stars performing out at Shotskis that was out in Salem back in the day. And you guys were so well known for almost having all the motherfucking Rue girls coming out and perform with you. Tell us some fun stories about working with all these Rue girls out at Shotskis.
So yeah, it was an amazing time working at Shotskis. Every single queen that we like brought in, they were all really, really sweet. My absolute favorite has to be hands down Aquaria. She was very personal and like even sat down and asked me like, who are your biggest inspirations for drag? And I was like, bitch, you. Like, what do you mean? Because it was like right after she just got done winning. And she was just like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah, like I actually model a lot of my stuff after you. And she was like, oh, show me. And I showed her I believe the picture of like the rhinestone eyes that I did. And she was just like, bitch, you need to keep doing this. Like, this is amazing. And that really shot like so much confidence into me.
Oh, honey, I love that you actually had a positive experience meeting one of your role models. Sometimes you can meet those people you look up to, and it's not always the most best experience. They're not quite the person you think they're going to be. And
yeah, like meeting Alyssa Edwards, she was a bit hot-headed, if you ask me.
Well, you know, girl, that might actually lead into one of the next ones. Is you've already spilled the tea of who your favorite Rue girl to work with. Why don't you share a horror story of one of the Rue girls you've worked with?
I wouldn't say it's really a horror story, but just Alyssa Edwards wasn't my favorite to work with. Other people had different experiences, but for me, she was just kind of like not wanting to be there. She referred to Shotskis as like, her exact words were, who booked me at this pizza bar? Like, it just felt like she was very like unhappy to be there.
Well, you know, and that's really unfortunate to hear, because when you spend, especially when you're spending a lot of money to bring an entertainer to be there and entertain for your audience, you want to know that they want to be there, and you want to know that they're willing to have a good time and have a positive attitude. So I'm really sorry to hear that, but sadly, I'm not really surprised by that information.
Yeah, well, I mean, such a big name, so, and also her performance was very lackluster. I was expecting Dancing Diva, and that was not the case.
She didn't bring the dancing to the stage?
No, she was very one note the whole time.
Okay, so let's take this a different route. Who, besides like Aquaria, who was the most like relaxed and fun like Rue girl to actually sit down and hang with backstage?
Let's see. Well, I would have to say like Sharon Needles or Shangela.
Oh, girl, I was at the Sharon Needles show and she was fantastic.
Yeah, it was really awesome working with her, especially with like Portland being so against her. I actually got a chance to like sit down and talk to her about like everything that happened, and she said herself like she regrets everything that happened, but ultimately she can't really do anything to change people's minds after it already happened.
And we also talked to her a little bit, but you know, she was such a personable person, and I met her years prior when it was I think the year she won.
Mm-hmm.
And she was out in San Francisco performing with Peaches Christ doing Silence of the Trams, and it was a Silence of the Lambs drag parody. Mm-hmm. And I was quite a fangirl back then, and I loved me some Sharon Needles, so I got her a gift that was a Friday the 13th hockey mask that was signed by the original final girl from the first Friday the 13th movie.
Wow,
And
that's awesome.
yeah, and so I gave it to her like years ago. So when she was at Shotski's, I was like, so girl, I don't think you're ever going to remember this, and I'm sure you threw it out. And I asked her about it, and she's like, girl, that's sitting in my office next to, like, in this little showcase. She goes, I have kept that near and dear to my heart, and that is in my spook box. I'm like,
That's incredible. Wow.
oh my gosh, yeah, and it was definitely an amazing experience for me. So, Miss Boujee, speaking of amazing experiences, I'm going to get shady for a minute if you don't mind.
Oh, I guess.
Well, tell us a little bit about the time you may have thrown up on Chanel from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 1, girl.
Who told you that? I am contacting my lawyers right now.
I have my sources. I am not allowed to name them.
Actually, yeah. So it was my very first like big show at Shotski's, and I drank a little bit too much. And I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh, I'm so sad I didn't get any pictures with Chanel. Like, I'm such a huge fan. And then I was informed that I did take pictures with her and I threw up on her. And I just, I was just like, you're lying. That's not true. They were like, no, yeah, you threw up like, not like on her, but like on her foot a little bit. And I was like, no, that is not true.
Oh, God. Were you mortified? Like, did she hate you afterwards? Tell me, girl.
Oh, no, I was just like, that's it. Like, this is my end of my drag career. I was like, I'm never going to be allowed to perform at Shotski's again. But luckily, her response was just, Ivana, you need to keep an eye on this one.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm happy you got that response, but you know, thankfully you just threw up a little on this, like one of her shoes. Imagine if you would have thrown up over all over her Las Vegas costumes.
Oh no, I probably would have gotten that dry cleaning bill. Oh, that would have been so bad because I'm still poor.
Bitch, I feel you, especially this day and age where, you know, us queens, such as you and me, who both perform full-time as drag performers and rely as drag as our main income, this is hitting us hard.
Yeah, well, like I also have like my day job, but I don't have that anymore because of it was at the mall and the malls are closed, so.
Oh, was that the prostitution position that you had on the corner by the mall?
No, that was on the corner by Shotski's. But but no, I work at Forever 21. I'm a sales associate, and I was actually like in the process of getting a new position when everything happened. So I'm really upset about that because I don't get my freaking raise yet.
Oh, well, I am a little jealous that you actually work there because that is probably one of my favorite places to go shopping.
I really like working there because I get to like pick things out that I really like and then just like put it on the rack and be like, okay, I'm getting this when I get paid.
Yes, I love that so much. Now, Boujee, obviously you have quietly evolved through the years, and you are in fact quite a beauty. And you are part of a drag family these days called the Toy Box. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your drag family?
Yes, my lovely best friend and I started our own family. We are called the Toy Box, and my best friend is Amy to Kill Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah, we started this family probably in like January or December. And we have 4 lovely daughters. We have Chastity Oberlin, Tokyo Plains, Mercury Dabs, and our final one, she is still working on her name. She is brand new to the scene, and she lives in Albany, but she's also equally as gorgeous as all of us.
And which one's the youngest drag baby?
Chastity Oberlin. She literally turns 18 on Tuesday.
Well, I'll tell you a little secret, Miss Boujee, between us girls, and because you're her mother. Chastity has asked to be on Bitch Talk with Bitchcock.
Wait, so she's trying to come for my gig now? God,
She
that
is. She said,
child.
well, you have my mother. When do I get my opportunity?
Yeah, I always told her that she needs, like, if she wants something to get done, she needs to reach out and ask for it. It's not just gonna be handed to her.
I love that. So as her mother, would you say she's going to give me a juicy interview?
Probably better than this is going. I mean, it's already going pretty great, but I ramble a lot, so.
Oh, bitch, you are killing this interview. I definitely love that you're here spilling all the tea. So Miss Chastity, little drag baby of BoujiestCherry, if you're watching, girl, you better get that calendar ready because I think I'm going to bring you on here to spill all the tea, not just about your drag career, but a little bit about your drag mother too.
Oh gosh, it's a good thing she doesn't know all the horror stories yet.
Oh my. So tell us a little bit about your drag children. How has their personality kind of reflected off of you? Have they learned anything based off of you or your other drag partners' personalities?
I think that our like personalities and everything have like helped them evolve to like being able to ask where is appropriate to perform. I've definitely helped guide them on how to give a presence when performing, because when they first started, I saw a lot of like cherry picking, and you know what cherry picking is, right?
No, tell the audience just so they know.
Okay, so cherry picking is when you are performing and people are trying to tip you, and instead of like acknowledging them just like a tad bit, you just take the money and go. And that is something that gets on my nerves when people do that. That is one of the very first like tips that I ever got from Chastity, which is Ariel Versace's husband or boyfriend.
Okay. Yeah, and I never, I know that's something that happens a lot, is especially when you're performing and a queen sees a sea of people holding money up, they kind of sometimes get lost in their performance and focusing on gathering the money more than actually entertaining the masses.
Yeah. So yeah, I always like try to push them to be better. Cause like I always told them that like I don't expect them to be at my level right away because I've been doing this for 3 years, like being in drag, but I've also been on stage my entire life. So like it's not just gonna happen overnight. They're not gonna become big superstars. But they need to put in the work, and I feel like it's paying off for most of them.
I love that so much. And let's say there's a drag child out there watching right now and they desperately want to become part of your family. What kind of things do they need to do to impress you?
Let's see. I mean, I always told myself I was never gonna have drag kids because I'm an extremely hard working performer and I wouldn't want to like make them feel like they weren't enough, you know? But to get my attention, just like your performance and who you are as a person is what really gets me. Because like if you're starting and you're having like a really shitty attitude, that's not gonna make me like you.
No, no. And, shitty attitudes and kind of just being a bitch is never going to get you anywhere in the drag scene. Honestly, just be yourself, be nice, and have fun, and people are going to like you so much more.
No, literally, like, don't pretend to be someone else that you're not. Like, just always emote yourself, which is all you can really do.
Yeah. So, Boujee, because you're a drag mother and you have learned so much within your career, do you have any advice that you'd really like to give any upcoming queens coming into the drag scene?
I would have to say, don't be afraid to ask for a gig, even if it's a tip spot. Like, put yourself out there because that's the only way you're gonna get noticed and people are gonna know who you are. You really need to push yourself to like whatever capacity you can, and also know your words.
Oh, yes.
That is something that I still struggle with because I don't like performing the same song. So I literally choose my songs the day before and I'm like, I know this enough.
Oh, girl, you know how many times I said, oh, no, I know this song. I'm going to do it. and then I'll perform it. I think Dance Monkey was one of them, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna get it down. And I started performing. I'm like, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like that for me sometimes.
Well, I love that. Now, Boujee, I know because I've known you for quite a bit. You know, I've only been able to work with you quite a few times, but I've always looked at you like you were a fucking shiny star, just, you know, sitting in Oregon for some reason. Oh!
Well, there has to be some talent in Oregon. Just kidding.
Well,
I'm totally joking.
well, I get it. You are definitely representing pure talent out there in Portland, but thankfully you're not out here in Eugene because I'd have to make you look bad. Oh.
Oh my gosh, and it's not hard to make me look bad.
Girl, standing next to me, I can make anyone look good. Well,
That mug takes forever, so don't lie.
girl, you know, it's funny, and let's actually break that down a bit. Tell me a little bit about your makeup process, because we were talking about that in the pre-interview. You say it tends to only take you an hour to do your face, right?
Yeah, actually today it took me 45 minutes.
I fucking hate you. It takes me 4 hours.
No, I was literally sitting there getting ready and I was like, why did I decide to put rhinestones on my face? Like, I should not be doing this because it's just gonna take longer. And I got done and I was like, this only took an episode of Instant Influencer to get done. Okay.
Bitch. It's so funny because this morning they did like a Queer as Folk reunion on YouTube, and it was like a 4-hour episode.
Oh, I need to go watch that then.
It was fantastic. But it's funny, I started when they started and I did my makeup, and it ended as I was ending my makeup, and it was a fucking 4-hour event. I'm like, bitch.
Yeah, well, I like tend to skip a lot of steps to make it the fastest process that I can do it. Like, I don't do concealer or highlight under my eyes or my forehead. I do like the like little like highlight to like make that like pop, but I don't do like concealer. I don't use like the orange tint to like hide my beard. Like, trust me, if you're too close, you'll see a beard, depending the day.
I do that. Well, I mean, I love that you kind of you skip some of those steps and you kind of know what works on your face to really keep you beautiful. Any secrets you kind of want to spill for those girls watching that really helps you, you know, save time but still makes you look flawless?
It's just a lot of blending, honestly. Like, my contour is a lot of blending, if you can see that. Yeah, and just powder and what's it called? Primer is your best friend.
Oh, that pore filling primer, especially, it saves lives.
Yes, honestly.
Well, Boujee, you definitely have done so many amazing things throughout your career. I kind of wanted to bring up a few of the highlights of the things you've done, and I kind of want to start with you going all the way out to LA to go and interact with DragCon, and we're even able to get the opportunity to perform on the DragCon stage. Tell us a little bit about that, girl.
Yes, so when I went to DragCon last year, my friends and I were like watching like the stage performances, and I was very disappointed with a lot of them. They weren't very great performances. And then Chester Lockhart came out and was like, who would like the opportunity to perform on stage for a lip sync battle? And at the time I was wearing like brand new shoes and I was like, I haven't even busted these in yet. I can't perform in them. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then I saw who like everyone was that was going to perform. And I was like, well, I guess I can do it.
Yeah.
And I did it. And I ended up winning the lip sync battle. And Chester Lockhart said that he loves me but hates my name.
Oh, why did he hate your name?
I don't know. I literally went up to him at the club like later that night and I was like, hey, do you remember me? Because I was wearing a completely different outfit and I redid my makeup. And he was like, yeah, you're BoujiestCherry. And I was like, hate the name, love you. And he was like, I had to say something funny.
It's all right. The first time I went to DragCon, I got in line to meet Coco Peru. And as you know, she is quite a mouthy drag queen, and so am I. And I'm being Maliena Bitchcock, being loud and goofy in line, and I finally get up in front to meet her, and I'm like, "Hi, Miss Coco Peru, I'm Maliena Bitchcock," and she looks me up and down. She goes, "Oh, you're the mouth," and I'm like,
Ah!
"Oh my God, did Coco Peru just call me the mouth? I'm so honored."
That's so funny.
So I love that. Now, honey, why don't you tell us one of the best memories you have of or actually going to DragCon weekend?
One of like my favorite things was I performed at what was it called? Exposure Drag is like
Ooh.
the venue. And the night before I met, or I didn't meet, but I saw Morphine Love for the first time. And she's an amazing Miami queen. And when I didn't realize that she was going to be in the same show as I was. And working with her was amazing. She was like, "You need to come to Miami. You are literally a Miami girl. You do not need to be going back to Portland." She was like, her friend hosts a show that's specifically for Asian queens. And she was like, "Are you any sort of Asian? Just like a little bit, so I can put you in my show?" And I was like, "Unfortunately not."
Well, on the plus side, at least you know plenty of Asian queens. You could suggest someone like Kimberly Michelle Westwood or Shima.
I'm sure Shima would do great twerking her ass off in Miami.
Bitch, like she could afford a plane ticket out to Miami.
Can any of us right now?
No, well, Kimberly Michelle Westwood can, those fucking endless money bag pockets of hers.
Oh gosh, honestly, I don't understand how Paul keeps up with her.
Well, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut so you don't hear me. Well, Boujee, I love that, you actually didn't hit the thing I really wanted you to hit about DragCon weekend, so I'm just gonna bring it up myself.
Yes.
You got to meet your legend, icon, like role model in drag, and they wanted to meet you. So tell me a little bit about Ariel Versace wanting to meet you.
Yes, it was actually an incredible experience meeting her. She's literally like the reason why I go by being the Latinx Bratz doll of Portland. Um, so I have a friend that I met at Shotsky's at the Cameron Michaels show last year. Yes. Yeah, that was last year.
No, it was 2 years ago because I was
2 years ago. Okay, yes. So 2 years ago, her name's Kaylee. Hi, Kaylee, if you're watching. And I was texting her. I was like, "Hey, are you going to DragCon?" And she's like, "Girl, I'm working Ariel's booth." And I was like, "Oh my God, like, I would love to come see you." And she was like, "Yeah, come. I'm telling Ariel about you. She wants to meet you." And so I was like, "Wait, she wants to meet me." Okay. So I literally darted straight to go see her. And so normally you have to pay for like a picture or something. That way you can meet them. But I got up there and Ariel was like, "Oh, you don't have to pay for that. I'll just sign it."
Aww.
Obviously, I paid for it and everything because like I'm supporting like my idol. But yeah, she was extremely amazing. She kept asking me like about my looks that I was wearing. She was like, "Oh, like, did you design these and did you make them yourself?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually." She was like, "You're kidding." And I was like, "No, I actually really like making outfits. I'm just a lazy bitch, so I have other people make them at this point." Oh God, I don't know what you're doing now, but but yeah, it was really awesome meeting her. And she even was like, "Well, what are you doing after this?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna go out." And she goes, "Oh, so you're gonna come to my show, right?" And I was like, "I'm getting invited by Ariel Versace to come to her show."
Oh.
And then I texted my friend Kaylee and I was like, "Where is this? I'm coming." Like, it was a lot of fun. I didn't actually end up going, but the thought counts.
Oh my God, that is really exciting. And the fact that she wanted to meet you, she wanted to learn all those details about you. I think that's a magical moment, girl. And I'm really grateful that you were able to have that opportunity.
Yeah, it was amazing. I couldn't ask for a better DragCon weekend.
Aw, I love it. It's better than my DragCon weekend where I ended up in an elevator with a smeared face after sucking dick with Bianca Del Rio.
Oh, wow. Let's hear that story.
Well, if you want to, I guess you're going to have to tune into the episode with Sativa Goddamn Jones where I spilled all the tea on that story.
Oh, do I have to? It's sativa. Just kidding.
Well, you smoke a lot of sativa while you're listening, and it'll make it so much bearable. Well, Boujee, again, you've done so many exciting things. Let's move on to the next thing that you're so proud of, and that's the fact that you actually were able to be in an article that was featuring drag queens who smoke weed, and you were able to be featured alongside with queens like Bitch Pudding from Dragula and Laganja Estranja from RuPaul's Drag Race. Tell us a bit about that, bitch.
Yeah, so actually the person that wrote the article, his name is Zachary. He lives in New York, and he came to visit Portland, and we were like messaging on Instagram because like he's cute, I'm cute. And we kind of hit it off, and we hung out like the entire weekend. And like after he left, he was like, "Hey, I'm writing this article. I was wondering if you wanted to be a part of it." And I was like, "Yes, I'm down. What's it about?" And he was like, "It's queens who smoke weed. Like, do you smoke weed?" And I was like, at the time, I smoked all the time because it helped calm my nerves when I was about to perform. Now I don't really smoke as often, but then quarantine happened, so I started smoking again.
I was gonna say, Boujee, if you don't smoke weed, I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
No, I definitely have a higher tolerance again, which is great.
Oh my gosh. You know, I want to know a little bit. Give me some insight of the things we would have been able to read in this article.
So one of the things that I was asked was like, why do you smoke weed? And I wrote down that like I smoke weed because it helps my mind not be everywhere when I'm trying to design an outfit. Like, it makes all my ideas just go into like one zone, and then it also calms my nerves. That way, I can like get on stage and not be as terrified.
Now, you don't. Do you feel like you back in the day? Because me, I personally sometimes need weed to be able to get on stage and perform in front of people. Do you feel like you've gotten past a point where you don't need that to be able to go on stage and your own confidence is really there for you at this point?
Yeah, at this point, like I don't even need alcohol to get on stage anymore, which I used to like have to have at least one drink in me, and I'm like, okay, I can be my slutty self on stage and wipe my pussy all over the place. But that is not the case anymore. I can do that sober.
Okay, I love it. At least one of us can do that sober because, bitch, I love to drink when I'm in drag.
Yeah, no, I definitely like love shoving people's faces in my crotch with consent.
Ooh, okay,
And like I just love being all like, look at me, I'm so pretty, tell me I'm pretty, you know.
see, girl, this is why I love you so much. Me and you have so many things in common.
Yeah, especially with a natural beat face, you know.
You know, some of us get away with just wearing a little, chapstick and mascara, where others, like Michelle Westwood, have to moisturize their face for hours to actually look pretty.
Yeah, and all those lip fillers, which aren't fooling anybody.
Oh, you think she's got filler in those lips?
You haven't seen, are you friends with her on Snapchat? She literally posts it all the time.
Bitch, I'm friends with her in general. I try to ignore her on social media.
Don't we all?
No, that bitch is beautiful, though. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure she has a few drag queens putting some hits out on her just because she is so goddamn pretty.
And I'm one of them.
Oh, we'll definitely get into that a little more when we play a little game later. Now, Boujee, can you tell me what the most amazing moment that has happened so far within your drag career?
I would have to say getting the opportunity to open for an amazing artist. Her name is King Princess. And that actually happened in February, which was like the best experience of my life. Being backstage at a concert, for one, was amazing. And hearing so many people calling out my name was literally life-changing.
That is fabulous. What was it, like an audience of like 400?
I don't know. It was at the Roseland Theater and it was a sold-out show. So whatever the capacity is for that.
So
but no, as soon as I got on stage, it just like felt very natural to be on stage in front of that many people.
Girl, that's exciting. I mean, a venue like that, you had to easily have at least 600 people in that audience watching you, and to have all of them screaming your name, I mean, bitch, that's like a dream for me.
Yeah, and then also like seeing all the videos on Instagram that I got tagged in from like all these people that I've never met in my life. I'm like, this is amazing.
And did you actually get any kiki time with King Princess?
I did. So going downstairs, they were like, oh, this is your dressing room. I had my own fucking dressing room with like my name on the door and everything. Like, it was incredible. And then King Princess had her own dressing room. And then Kilo had her dressing room, which was the person that was performed before me. She wasn't a drag queen. She was just a singer as well. That was touring with King Princess. But so we all had our own dressing rooms, but everyone was just in like the communal area. So we all just hung out the entire time. We were taking pictures. And actually after the concert, we all went to Club Kai Kai and I literally had a great time at, I think it's at Candy now.
Okay. Well, girl, that is so exciting. And I mean, to be able to open for someone, I mean, and were you very familiar with this artist before they came into town?
I actually wasn't. I had like no idea who she was, and like her manager or someone messaged me on Instagram and was like, hey, do you have an email for like a booking? And I was like, yeah, it's just at boujiecherry@gmail.com. And then I got an email later that day and it was like, oh, King Princess is coming to Portland and we would love to have you open for her. This is like how much we can afford to pay you. And I was just like, an artist wants me to open for her? Like, how did you guys find me? Like, what the fuck? And they said that they found me on Instagram and they would love to have me. And I was just like, okay. Like, it was amazing.
Oh my gosh, that is so exciting, girl. I love that so much. Now, let's move on to a little bit something that's happened recently. Since we've been in quarantine, I know that you were actually asked to do like a virtual show for a personal party. It was actually hooked up through a third party friend of yours. And it wasn't until after you did this little virtual show that you found out that it was for someone a little famous. Tell us a little bit about that, girl.
Yeah, it was for Brooke from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. And I had no idea like it was Brooke. I was just like, oh my God. When I found out, it was just like the craziest thing because I got messages in the morning and they were like, bitch, you were just like talked about on the radio. And I was like, what? And then I found out that it was Brooke from Brooke and Jubal, and she booked me for her friend's 40th birthday. And she hired me to do a Britney number. She was like, do any song. You are the only drag queen that's performing. And I was like, oh, perfect. I have a freaking like 9-minute long Britney mix. So I cleared out my like furniture and I performed Boots the House Down. My downstairs neighbors probably hate me. I ended up taking a shot with them and it was honestly incredible. She was super sweet. And I messaged her the next, like after I found out, I texted her because I have her phone number. And I was like, bitch, what you mean that you're Brooke? Like, and she was like, oh, did I not mention that? And I was like, no.
And do you know what she actually said about you on the radio though?
Yeah, so she sent me the link to what she said and it was like, if you're looking for a way to like master a Zoom party, she's like, hire a drag queen, but specifically hire this drag queen. She was like, she performed, she did kicks in the splits, and she goes, there's a random cat in the background, which was everything, and that is my roommate's cat, Opal. She does not like being off the camera.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, honey, you have been out performing all over. In fact, one place that you said you really enjoy performing is out in LA. And besides like doing DragCon weekend, why don't you tell us some of the times that you've performed in LA?
Okay, so the last time I was there, I was booked to host Evita, which is I'm really sad that is no longer a show place anymore. They ended up closing like a month after I went. But luckily I had that opportunity. I met so many people. They got me shit-faced drunk. And then that same weekend, I performed at Foo Bar for Makeout Mondays, hosted by Rhea. That was a lot of fun. Rhea was literally like, this bitch came to town. And I also had the opportunity to perform at Mickey's for Ice Cream Sundays, hosted by Loris from Dragula.
Oh my God, girl, that is fantastic. And there is a little something that you haven't mentioned that I do want to bring up is while you were out there, I heard a little rumor that you were able to spend a very special 21st birthday with the one and only Gigi Good from this season of RuPaul's Drag Race, and were even able to take a birthday shot with her. Ooh!
Yeah, so throughout that, like the night on Sunday for Ice Cream Sundays, I went out with Loris and we went drinking and going to different clubs. And then we went back to Mickey's and Gigi was there with all her friends. And Loris was like, do you want to come meet her? And I was like, yeah, like I've been a fan of her since before she was announced on the show. And she was super sweet. Loris was like, this is BoujiestCherry. She's from out of town. And she told me that I was pretty. And I was like, thank you, bitch. So were you. Like, it was incredible. And then we ended up taking birthday shots and we hung out for like a good hour to 2 hours. And then I blacked out and went home.
Oh my God, so fun. Tell us a little bit of the personality that we may not see on TV.
I feel like on TV, she's very, like, her drag persona isn't as, like, sweet on the show as she is in person.
Okay.
Like, yeah, she was literally so down to earth. We like just talked about like who made my outfit, which again was me. And she was like, my mom makes my outfits. Well, and I was like, that's so awesome. Like,
yeah, I think it's really, it's really lovely that she has mentioned this on the show, and she mentioned that to you in real life, that she has such a wonderful mother who supports her drag, and not all of us have that in our lives, and some of us have actually struggled to get our families to support our drag. So I'm very envious that she has that situation.
Yeah, no, definitely. When I first started drag, I did not have the support from my family at all, let alone for being gay.
I hear you, baby. You know, the woman who raised me, my mother, my grandmother, I know her as Mom. She's 72 years old right now, and she's just now, in my 15 years of doing drag, is now kind of looking at my pictures, watching these interviews as I do with you girls, and she's starting to understand it a little more. To her, she didn't understand why I would want to dress like a woman if I didn't want to be a woman.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it was, like, growing up. Like, that's why I was so afraid of drag, because I was like, I don't want to be a woman, so like why would I do this? And then I realized like that's not even about it at all. Like, this is an art form and I'm fucking great at it.
Yes, you are, my love. You're a fierce queen, and you're definitely a force to be reckoned with. I love that wherever you go, you are hanging out with some of the fierce bitches. I even love that you said when you were in LA, you were hanging out with Dragula's Loris.
Yeah, she's amazing. I loved working with her. And she literally told me, like, whenever I'm in town, just to let her know and she'll put me in the show again. Because she was like, you are the only bitch that has ever asked if it was okay to perform on the street, and you actually did it.
I love that. You know, I think it was my second year at DragCon. It was before she was ever famous. We were actually outside on the balcony. We're in the smoking area, and we were just chit-chatting with her and her boyfriend at the time. And a photographer came along and actually did a photo shoot with both me and Loris. So there's actually some very fantastic photos that me and Loris are in together.
That is super awesome.
Yes. So, my dear, you have definitely done so much within your drag career. Tell us a little bit how you have evolved from the beginning to now.
So from the beginning, I would say that my drag has changed drastically, because I definitely wasn't the bucking, twirling daredevil that I am now. I was actually very reserved on like, oh, what can I do? But also my titties were always out because that's always been a statement of mine to like have my bare chest showing.
Oh, I
Not
don't
my
know nothing about that. Oh.
no, like I've always been the one to be showing off my nipples. That's always been a statement of mine. I don't know why. It's just something that I like. But yeah, no, it's definitely, I'm much more high energy. I'm not as shy. I actually give a performance as opposed to just walking around and taking tips.
Okay, I love that. Now, Boujee, I hope you don't mind me asking this question. Part of your style, if I'm not mistaken, you don't really tend to wear a lot of like boobs, correct? You kind of play with your boy chest.
Yes. So I don't wear boobs specifically for the reason of the way I perform. If I were to wear a breastplate, that would just get in the way. And also, I have my nipples pierced, so they just rub very weirdly.
I get it, girl. Me too. And I actually kind of like how it rubs.
Oh gosh, I can't do it. I don't know how you do it, but
Well, I love that. And, do you feel like using your natural chest that ever gives you a sense of kind of playing with gender while you're doing your character?
yeah. So like, the way I see it is like, not every like woman per se like has giant titties or titties at all. And so I feel like I'm just like playing and bending like the rules of what gender is supposed to be. And that's what I love about drag, is that I can literally do whatever the fuck I want to.
I think that's beautiful, babe. And, again, drag gives you the power to create a character however you want that character to look. There's no set rules of what a drag character needs to be. So I really love that you get that, bitch.
Yeah, and trust me, it took a while for me to realize that.
Well, I hear you. Now, Boujee, tell us something that people watching need to ultimately know about you that they don't yet.
Oh, let's see. I feel like we covered everything that is me. Um,
How about like boundaries at a show or things that you don't like audience members doing?
I literally have zero restrictions on what like people can like. Don't kiss me, obviously. But like, unless you ask, then like I'm down. Don't grab me like just to like get my attention. Also, never pull my hair.
Ooh,
Oh, that's a big one.
don't ever touch a queen's hair. That's a good way to get your fucking eyes scratched out.
Oh no, literally, it happens all the time, and I'm just like, excuse me, no.
People touch your hair?
Yeah, it happens often, actually. People are just like, oh my god, I love this, blah, blah. I'm like, you're lucky this one wig that you're touching is human, so like you're not gonna fuck it up, but still.
Oh my god, that would be see, that's where I'm like, don't touch my hair. Bitch, this shit takes a lot of money to look this way.
Right? No, I actually literally just got done styling this hair for today, so.
Yeah, so that's a BoujiestCherry original?
It is. It's not to like the caliber that it could be, but it's there for now.
Well, I love it, love. That's so beautiful. And, for just because I love to give a good shout out, if you love or need new hair, I heard Locks by Lilac will be doing an auction this Monday. So definitely pay attention, especially if you want some good, fabulous hair.
And honestly, Lilac is an amazing person. Like, she did my hair for DragCon when I was on the stage, and she did my hair for when I was hosting at Avita. So that was really awesome of her, and I love everything that she does for me. I need to send her a few of my wigs, actually.
Girl, I hear you too. I have like 4 wigs back there. I'm like, I'm tired of looking at you. I'm just going to give you the lilac.
Literally.
Well, honey, tell me a little bit. Have you ever held any titles or gotten any rewards throughout your drag career?
Yes, actually, the most recent reward I got from Kimberly Michelle Westwood and Daniel when they were Emperor and Empress. My house, at the time, the Phoenix family got Entertainers of the Year, and that was an incredible honor. I was like, yeah, bitch, look at me.
Okay.
Yeah, and then What else do I have? I was Miss Gay Pride for Portland. That is the very first title that I ever won, and the reason why I started drag was literally that pageant.
Oh, okay. And what year was that?
2016.
Oh, girl, yes. Now, Boujee,
Or 7.
you mentioned you're part of the Phoenix family, correct?
Yes.
So, who consists of that drag family?
So that I know of, there is Alexis Lynn Phoenix, Devlin Phoenix, Lucky XOX. I think those are like the main ones, but like that got the award for Entertainers of the Year. It was Lexus, Devlin, Amy to Kill, and myself.
Okay, work. And is Angel Phoenix part of that family?
No, they are two different families, very distinct. It's actually not that hard to figure out who's who, but I don't use the last name, so people probably are like, are you even a Phoenix?
Well, I love it. And you'd be like, no, I'm a cherry.
No, literally, I'm like, I have a brand, honey.
Yes, I hear that, honey. Clownfish, clownfish. Well, my love, you actually have mentioned a little bit earlier that we kind of talked about having titles and awards, but you mentioned when you first started, you initially wanted to be a pageant queen, snatching titles left and right. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, I have always been into pageants, like the gowns. Like I've always watched like Miss Universe and like all their like amazing costumes that they wear for their like runway looks. Like I've always dreamt of just like being on that stage and being like holding hands with the other girls and just like crying when they say my name that I won.
Oh my gosh. Now, is that something you could see yourself doing now?
I think that I could. Before quarantine was over, I was supposed to be running for La Rubia here in Portland.
Okay.
And that translates to the blonde, for those of you that don't speak Spanish.
Thank
And
you.
I was actually really excited about that because it was supposed to be the first pageant that I was doing this year, and that didn't happen.
Well, girl, keep your hopes up because, hopefully we'll get let out of quarantine soon and you can hopefully snatch some titles. But if not, I mean, we're in a day and age, especially with things like this, where maybe a virtual pageant will happen and you can still snatch a crown.
Actually on Instagram right now, I'm in a like Instagram drag race thing. And so hopefully I win first place and I get those $500.
Oh, I love that. And, if you feel generous, go ahead and give a little bit of that over here because this bitch is broke.
Oh, right.
Well, honey, speaking of this bitch, I know I'm not your absolute favorite bitch in the world, but why don't you tell me your favorite drag queen to work with?
My absolute favorite, well, there's like a long list of them, but
Let's
like,
do local.
so my absolute 100% favorite is Amy to Kill. She is my absolute best friend, and every time we're together, we're just being stupid the whole time. Literally don't stop laughing about like anything. We get along so well. I love hosting with her because we are really good at like playing off of each other. Yeah, she's literally the best person to be in my life.
I love that, girl. And why don't you tell us a little bit what we are expecting next from BoujiestCherry?
So up next from BoujiestCherry, I've been working on a lot of different like videos and stuff for like online shows. But after quarantine is over, I will be taking a step back from performing in Portland.
What?
Yes, I just feel like I'm at a point in my drag career that I can push myself to be bigger than I am. And so my goal is to be performing in a different place every weekend besides Portland once a month. Like I'm planning on going to Canada, Chicago, Miami, New York. I want to go to Vegas because my brother lives in Vegas. But yeah, I'm planning on doing a lot of traveling once quarantine is done.
Fantastic. Are you going to do it AJ and the Queen style, or rent an RV and throw all your drag in there and just drive around?
Oh no, honey, I'm taking airplanes everywhere.
Very smart. Get first class if you can.
You think I can afford that? Not with this
Well,
salary.
if you start being the big name like I know you're going to, then yes, you're going to make those money left and right.
Hopefully one day.
Well, hopefully. Now, speaking of, is there any dreams or ambitions you'd like to see come true soon?
My biggest dream and ambition has always been to be on RuPaul's Drag Race, just because I really like the platform that it gives the artist, not necessarily the show itself, but the platform that you get from it is extremely big. So many people get to learn about your art and who you are. And I think that'd be the perfect kickstart to starting my fashion line.
Okay, I love that. Now, I know bougie can sometimes get a little dark and kind of creepy with her drag. Have you ever considered maybe going for Dragula?
Yes, so I would absolutely love to be on either Dragula or Drag Race. The reason I would like to be on Dragula is because I feel like I can express myself in any way that I can or I want. And as for like Drag Race, it has to be more toned down and like in one box, you know?
No, and I get that. And honestly, out of all the queens I know and have worked with, I could honestly say that you probably are one of the few queens that could survive any elimination they throw at you.
Oh, I'll try my best. Also, if I get an extermination on Dragula and I have to get like stabbed or something, I'm down.
Oh, girl. Okay.
I'm a crazy bitch. People just don't get to see that side of me because I like to perform depending on the crowd.
I love that. And honestly, you've done some fantastic, crazy things throughout your career. I mean, I definitely would say you're one unpredictable artist because, one week, have you ever actually stapled anything to your body?
I haven't because so Monique was like trying to staple me and I was like, hell no.
Why?
She was like, it doesn't hurt, watch. And so she did it like to like everyone else. And I was like, you know what? I'm fine.
Girl, to be fair, I was at that show also with Monique Shame, and she offered to staple me, and I told her she stapled me. She's going to be getting contacted by my lawyer.
No, and what's really funny is that she couldn't even handle my number.
Oh, that's some real tea. And you're not even joking. She came backstage, and she was like, I can't believe that queen just did that. I'm like, bitch, you're Monique Shame. You're a fucking drag monster.
No, literally, I was like, you literally staple your face. What do you mean? I just took an X-Acto knife and I like traced my body with it.
Yeah, and
then dumped
that to like Lady Gaga's Bloody Mary.
I did. But like I didn't like cut myself like deep or anything. It was just like because like blood play is like it's not something that I'm into, but it's something that people do fetishize. And so I was like playing up on that. I wasn't playing up like self-harm because like obviously that's not good. But yeah, like it was an amazing experience to do that because I've never done that before. And it was just funny seeing Monique's reaction coming up to me, tipping me, and then running backstage, telling everyone that I was dying because I dumped fake blood on myself. And when she came back, I was covered in fake blood, and she thought it was my blood.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, it's so funny seeing some of these monsters who are known for going outrageous or over the top and just like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that.
Yeah, honestly, it's so freaking hilarious.
Well, honey, I'm actually kind of excited to say that we're almost to the end of the interview, but I only have a couple more questions. Now, these are very hard times, and a lot of us have lost gigs. Thankfully, you are part of some amazing virtual gigs that happen online. How can people follow and support you with these virtual gigs?
So you can either look on my Instagram because I will be posting the flyers in my Instagram because, bitch, there's a lot of shit coming up, and I'm really excited to be putting this content out there. So you can follow me on Instagram at BoujiestCherry, BOUJEE Cherry. Or if we're friends on Facebook, and if we're not, add me. But yeah, you could just follow any of my social media and I'll be posting about it there.
That's fantastic, girl. Well, you have known me for a little bit. I'm definitely known for being a weird and crazy queen. Do you have any funny stories or first impressions that you would like to share with me about Maliena Bitchcock?
I would have to say, I didn't like you at first.
Ooh,
I thought you were a bitch.
really?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm so nice to people.
No, but the like one thing that like always like stuck out to me was your makeup was so distinct from everyone else and you never were trying to be anyone else, you were just yourself. And so I really admired that. But I was also envious of that because I was like, I can't do that.
Really?
Yeah, obviously like now I'm like, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about me. Uh,
Oh, well, good, baby, because you're a talented queen, and I've seen you do such stunning things. And I mean, at first you had me shaking over here. I'm like, oh my God, did she not like me? But you've always been so kind to me, Boujee. I mean, one of my fondest memories, I think, was the Monique Shame show that we did a cast together, and you were bending over, and we were joking and having a silly time. And I remember taking a selfie with your ass.
Everyone has to take a picture with my ass at some point, honestly.
Well, I love it. Now, honey, you have come on this amazing talk show that we call Bitch Talk with Bitchcock. What did you think of your experience?
It was a lot like lackluster. It could have been so much better. The interviewer sucked. Just kidding. I actually had a great time. I've been looking forward to this moment literally since you started, and I was so sad that I couldn't get on earlier.
Oh my gosh, the tea is real with this one. And honey, you're always welcome to come on Bitch Talk with Bitchcock. I really enjoyed having you. Um, Again, you're a talented queen, you're a sweet queen, and I think it was really fun to kind of get a closer look at you and kind of what makes you tick.
Yeah, well, thank you for giving me this platform to share a little bit about myself that people don't get to see all the time.
Absolutely. And with that said, if all those who are watching hasn't enjoyed this interview and really loves Miss BoujiestCherry and wants to show a little extra appreciation, please look into the description where you can find their Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App information so you can tip them a little something extra for this interview. Now, with that said, you can also do the same for me. It's a lot of hard work putting together all these fabulous interviews. If you want to tip me a little something, I can definitely appreciate it. So, we have our next guest that's coming up this Monday, May 4th, for episode 21. It's a Portland, Salem, and Las Vegas legend, the one and only Angel Phoenix. No response, Boujee?
Oh, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to respond or not. Sorry, I'm an airhead. You should know this.
It's all right. All that marijuana
no,
you're smoking these days.
I love Angel, and I can't wait to tune in to watch that.
We have so much tea that we're going to spill, so definitely tune in this Monday. Now, before I let you go, Miss Boujee, of course we have to play a little game. Do you want to play a little game with me?
What sort of game? Oh my God, I've never heard of a game before.
Well, no problem. I see that you have a bottle of alcohol there. So let's start with a little game to lube you up so we can share all the real tea. And we're going to play a Bitch Talk with Bitchcock favorite that we call Truth or Drink.
Well, can't wait to get wasted now.
Well, girl, I reached out to some of your biggest enemies and some of your closest friends to get some shady questions. So how this is going to work is I'm going to ask some great questions, and you can either take a shot or spill all the truth.
Well, I'm prepared. I'm ready. Let's go.
Fantastic. So the question on everyone's lip all over Portland is, do you hate Kimberly Michelle Westwood?
I hate her hair and makeup tonight. No, just, I adore Kimberly. She has been such a huge support for me one of the numbers that I like recently had for like my farewell show that I ended up coming back from anyways, she let me borrow her giant flower for, which was amazing. It fit very well.
Ooh, and she bought that flower actually originally for my step down.
Yeah, it was an amazing flower and it went well with like what I was portraying at the time.
Okay, I love that. Well, I was hoping for a more shady answer, but I'll handle that you love her, because who doesn't love some Kimberly Michelle Westwood?
Probably Paul at this point in quarantine.
Well, I'm sure a breakup's gonna happen soon. Ooh, I don't mean that. Don't come after me, I promise. Oh my gosh. Okay. What is, for number 2, what is your least favorite thing a queen can do around you?
Let's see. I'm a drink.
Oh, okay. And she's right out of the bottle. Ooh.
Actually, I'm gonna answer that anyways because I just want to take a shot. I think that like the worst thing that a queen can do is just be extremely arrogant and be like, "Oh, I deserve this, this, and this," and I'm like, "You don't, because like if you're brand new, you need to pay your dues like everyone else."
I fully agree. It's these entitled queens who really come up to you and kind of really think they deserve something, and especially if they haven't earned it yet, it can be very frustrating.
Yeah, no, it definitely is very upsetting when like a queen is like, I deserve to get paid like as much as like this person or this person, and I'm like, you think that that happened to me overnight? No, I had to work for where I'm at.
Absolutely. And I've been doing this shit 15 years, Boujee, and I still sometimes have to work for $15 or $50. Oh, I better not be working for $15 or $50, $80. It's just sometimes what you have to do.
Yeah, no, I think that at this rate, like, cause like my fee varies depending on who you are. If I'm like really close to you, then obviously like I'm gonna lower my fee. But if I'm not as close to you, like I will like have my higher fee, mainly because like if I am putting this effort into being somewhere that like I'm not really excited to be at, I'll like I have to put on the front, and yeah.
I hear you, girl. And I mean, it's totally understandable. Now, with that said, for number 4, are there any queens that you'd rather not work with?
Um, there is one specific queen in Portland that I would rather not work with, but if I have to, I will tolerate it. Uh, Her name is Touche Douche.
Ah! You named a name.
I did.
Okay. Do you want to tell us why?
Um, that is an artist that was very. I painted them one time and she looked incredible. I literally told her to tell everyone that she painted it herself because I was like, you deserve like any credit. But she didn't. She told everyone that I painted her. But we had like a little argument one time on Facebook. And after that, like a few weeks later, she made a post thanking everyone that's given her a platform and has helped develop her. And I was not one of them.
Oh.
I literally gave her a spot in my show to perform. I like helped her with her mug, and if that's not something that was acknowledged, like even if we weren't on the best of terms, like I don't want to be associated with someone like that.
I hear you, honey. You throw a bitch a lifesaver, you want them to appreciate that lifesaver, goddammit.
Yeah.
Well, I am happy to say that Touche Douche will be on the show to rebuttal that. So if you are watching, girl, I can't wait to hear your response.
Can't wait to watch.
Okay. Well, for our last question of truth or drink, Boujee, tell us the worst performance flop that may have ever happened to you.
Ooh, okay. So actually at the Monique Shane show, when I was wearing the like tiny little thong thing, my entire dick came out.
What?
I don't know if you saw that or were paying attention, but yeah, my like literally entire dick was hanging out because I wasn't wearing hip pads because I was doing like the razor thing, and yeah, my entire dick came out, and everyone's like, "Girl."
Oh my! Oh, were you embarrassed, or were you just like, "What the fuck ever"?
Oh, I didn't even notice until I watched the video, and I was like, "That's a nut."
Oh gosh. Well, girl, you survived it, and that's what's important.
Yeah, I definitely pushed through it.
Absolutely. And speaking of surviving, you survived our first game, which is Truth or Drink, but you only took one shot. So why don't you go and take one more shot for the audience before we go to our next game?
Okay, cheers, everybody.
Cheers, queer. Yes. Well, honey, I'm happy that we got you all lubed up because we're going to go to our next game that we like to call Marry, Kai Kai, or Cancel.
What's Kai Kai?
A Kai Kai is when you fuck another queen.
Like in drag, or does it matter?
I think it's supposedly in drag, but I think it's just when you have sexual relations with another queen, in or out.
Okay.
So, perfect, girl. So we're going to start with round one, as we have Kitty Glitter, Diva Dot, and Amy to Kill.
Oh, that's a hard one. Let's see. I would Kai Kai with Kitty Glitter. I would marry Diva Dot, and I would cancel my best friend, Amy to Kill.
Oh my! Amy, honey, if you're watching, please don't poison Boujee after this. We really love her.
She'd probably say, we almost had a moment where we Kai Kai.
Oh, I might have to get her on the show so I can get all that tea. Okay, so let's, for round two, take this to a RuPaul's Drag Race platform and really make you pick some girls.
Oh, okay, I'm ready.
Yes, we have the one and only Gigi Good, the beautiful Cameron Michaels, and your drag legend herself, Ariel Versace.
Okay, why do you give me such hard questions?
Bitch, it's a game. I really have to fuck with you.
Oh, God. I don't want to cancel any of them. Oh, okay, so, God damn. I would marry Cameron because of the muscles.
Oh my, I would Kai Kai that, especially.
I'm like, if I get to sleep next to that every night, I'm fine.
Ooh.
I would fuck Ariel, or Kai Kai with Ariel.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess I would have to cancel Gigi.
Oh. Wow, gosh. Well, hopefully you're the only one that cancels Gigi Good, because I think she might be in the running to actually win Drag Race.
Honestly, I think it's between her and Jada.
And I would be happy with either of them.
Even though I want Crystal Method to win.
I'm with you. I do love a good clown. Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's incredible. I love her to death.
Oh, okay, girl. Well, let's go to round three as we do some of your very favorites, including Diana Fire, Debbie Fox, and Annabelle Lecter.
Oh, gosh. Let's see. I would Kai Kai with Debbie Fox.
Oh.
I would marry Annabelle Lecter. And I would cancel Diana Fire in a heartbeat. I hate her.
Like, really?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't know there was a person existed that could hate Diana Fire.
Oh my gosh. No, when she had her show at Tonic Lounge, one of the last shows, she spelt my name wrong so many times that she just put on the flyer as under every single person's name was Boujee.
Oh my God, I fucking love her. And she's a hot man.
Oh yes, she is. She is the daddy of my dreams.
Oh, mine too. I will just say I love Camp Wanakiki, but she made it so much more enjoyable for me.
Yeah, and Coco stealing all of her jokes was the highlight of my watching.
Did she really?
Oh, you didn't know that?
Tell me, girl, tell me all the tea.
No, she didn't steal all her jokes. Coco and her were just like really close, and she was like, "Give me content."
Oh my God, that's some good shit right there. Okay, so let's take this for round 4, and let's take this to Dragula.
Ooh.
We have the one and only Loris, the beautiful James Majesty, and season 1 winner, Vander Van Odd.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I would kai with James.
Ooh.
That may or may not happen in the future.
Ooh, put on OnlyFans.
That was actually one of his stories. He posted, "Who wants to see a video on of us?"
Ooh.
And then I would marry Vander, and I would cancel Loris.
Oh my, but honestly, I mean, that's such a hard choice. I mean, I think I would do the exact same choice that you just did, girl.
Yeah, honestly.
Well, perfect. We only have one more round, and then we're going to say our goodbye to everyone. And this might be the easiest round for you. Who knows? Let's see what you say as we have Facetious Farce, Flawless Shade, and of course, Maliena Bitchcock.
That's actually really hard because I hate 2 of the people that you mentioned.
Oh, good. Hopefully I'm not one of them.
You're the top list, girl.
Good.
Let's see. I already know who I'm going to cancel on Facetious Farce. You know her. She's canceled anyways. I would marry you.
Yes!
And I would kai with Flawless Shade. That is flawless.shade on Instagram.
Oh my God, and she is one to kai with. Isn't she fucking gorgeous?
Oh, she is a beautiful human. Like, ugh.
I totally agree. I mean, it's just someone that makes me feel so warm when I'm around them all the time. And I love that finally someone actually wanted to marry me and not just fuck me.
That happens a lot in this community. People don't know what they want.
I love it. And you know what? It makes me feel good because she likes me. She actually likes me.
You were like, she didn't cancel me. That's a first.
Well, you know, that's actually something Angel Phoenix says. Well, honey, I'm so happy that you actually survived all our games, which means you survived Bitch Talk with Bitchcock.
Do I get a medal?
Well, you get the medal that's hiding in between your legs right now.
Oh, I'm even tucked for this, and I didn't even have to be.
Oh, well, girl, because you are a professional. That's why. Well, I'm so happy that you came on Bitch Talk with Bitchcock and shared all the tea. You are definitely one of my favorite guests that have come on to date because, girl, this was just a good old-fashioned kiki. We just spilled all of it.
And this was an amazing experience. I would love to do it whenever. I love talking, so.
Well, perfect. You know, honestly, I'll share a little secret. Now that you have completed 20 guests, I think I might take my first 20 guests, put you all on a wheel, spin that wheel, and whoever wins, I might give you the opportunity to interview Maliena Bitchcock for an episode.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. I can't wait to dig into what makes Maliena Bitchcock.
It's just a lot of fisting. Mm.
Oh, I've done that before.
Well, I love that you came on the show, and thank you again. And in the meantime, if you really did enjoy this interview with BoujiestCherry, please send her a little something extra. Her, again, in the description, you can find the Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Is there any other way that they can send you money? Do you accept EBT?
I accept EBT, checks, credit card information, social security number, so I can just forge everything. Ooh, whatever you want to send me, I'll take it.
How about sexual favors?
As long as I'm out of drag.
Oh, yes. Well, fabulous. And in the meantime, please tune in to our next episode this Monday, May 4th, for episode 21, as I interview the one and only drag legend herself from Las Vegas, Nevada, and Portland, Oregon, and Salem, Oregon, the one and only Angel Phoenix. Yes.
Whoa.
Well, again, thank you all for tuning into this amazing episode. I hope you have all a fantastic weekend and stay safe through these very hard times because, again, it's very scary, especially with all these drag queens doing all these virtual shows on a weekend. Oh! So again, I love you all and thank you for watching Bitch Talk with Bitchcock. You all have a fantastic weekend now.